I watched them all the time. I think I watched Indiana State and Iowa, Caitlin Clark play about the same last year. So I was watching a lot of basketball.
Like, can we get Caitlin Clark a little protection out there?
Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time.
You know, I usually stay out of these conversations, but with Caitlin Clark, I can't stay silent anymore.
I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the CC24 Hoops. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I have another exciting and intriguing video for you today. If you are a true admirer, you will definitely want to see this one through to the very end of Caitlin Clark. Please leave a CC 100% comment below to indicate that you are a part of the CC24 Hoops army. Before we start, let's go straight into today's video. I love seeing all of the amazing Clark supporters in the comments. Without further ado, what would happen if one of the best basketball players ever saw the most talented young? Is a WNBA athlete being singled out by questionable methods? You'll discover since the basketball, because of Larry Bird's provocative comments about Brittney Griner's proceedings against Caitlin Clark. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a professional athlete being singled out in the manner that Caitlin Clark has been throughout her career? Larry Bird's viewpoint on that. After witnessing that Connecticut Sun game, Brittney Griner believes that the WNBA has completely transformed. Of Larry Bird's perspective to be especially devastating. Caitlin Clark is exactly where Larry Bird is right now. In a league filled of incredible athletes, Larry Bird was the best player of the 1980s because others couldn't match. They tried to physically intimidate him because of his extraordinary basketball intelligence, but Larry Bird emphasized this crucial point. Brittney Griner's reputation gets really fascinating at this point. Larry Bird understands the difference between what he saw at the mob event and championship and what he saw with Caitlin Clark. Level competitive sport. I haven't witnessed such a cowardly behavior on a basketball floor in decades. Yes, you heard correctly, he added. Please think about liking this video and subscribing to the channel. If you like the content, you might be surprised to hear that nearly 83%. Thank you so much for your assistance. Let's go back to the video.
While this is taking place, Brittney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. This is her quote. I don't know if you saw this or not.
In response to the video of Brittney Griner shoving Caitlin Clark, Larry Bird acted quickly and violently. This man was the only individual in basketball who confronted famous enforcers like Dennis Rodman and Bill Laimbeer. History, who had a true understanding of what pure competitive fire looked like, but even he could see that Brittney Griner's behavior violated the rules of sportsmanship and competitive integrity. Although, listen to what Larry Bird has to say about the moment that shove happened. Brittney Griner is currently quite disappointed by his analysis. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel before we continue. Now, let's return to the story. The basketball player raised a subject that many fans have been thinking about. However, no one with his degree of notoriety had the guts to do so, making crude remarks about someone when they're fully exposed. And playing championship-level defense is not the same as not looking. Larry Bird claims that his era was regarded as the most physically taxing in NBA history. You act like a warrior when you disagree with someone, instead of acting like a predator and waiting for their back to turn. And that's exactly what caused. Larry Bird is extremely enraged by Brittney Griner's disgraceful actions, but as of right now, his comments have totally destroyed Brittney Griner's reputation. The senior Boston Celtics player was furious with Brittney Griner's pathetic post-event reaction. Brittney Griner stated that instead of expressing regret or acknowledging, felt the media and fans were unfairly criticizing her and that she could have gone too far. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. But Larry Bird felt even more enraged after hearing such remarks, she whispered. According to Larry Bird, champions and legends of the game, genuinely outstanding rivals, always take full responsibility for their actions, even when doing so may put another player in grave risk. He said that seeing Brittney Griner's tendency to play the victim and avoid criticism reminded him of players who secretly knew they couldn't compete at the highest level. As a result, they found additional questionable ways to affect the outcome. To put it another way, because Brittney Griner lacks the actual basketball skills to match greater potential. At this moment, Larry Bird effectively described her as a mediocre player who used unethical tactics. Larry Bird claims that Bird's research truly shines and reveals a fascinating aspect of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark possesses the same unique qualities that made him one of the greatest basketball players in history. Above all, a divine vision to improve everyone, an incredible basketball IQ, and an unexplainable ability to make critical baskets. Around her, nevertheless, he also saw something that troubles him because he loves basketball ethics. Instead of focusing only on achieving her boundless basketball potential, this incredibly talented adolescent. Athletes need to constantly be on the lookout for cheap shots and dirty methods. Larry Bird claims that Brittney Griner's approach embodies what's wrong with some gamers choosing to play Caitlin Clark instead of facing themselves to outperform her on the court or match her exceptional talent level through dedication and preparation. It is concerning that she is physically assaulted when she is most at risk. According to Larry Bird, this behavior is the worst basketball competition he has ever witnessed. However, as a result, everyone in the basketball community is discussing Larry Bird's contentious comparison to Caitlin Clark's circumstance to his personal experiences of being physically intimidated while working. Nevertheless, he didn't think twice about calling attention to anything that properly contextualizes and elevates Caitlin Clark. He emphasized that Caitlin Clark, who is only 22 years old, is going through a lot more difficulty than most people of athletes throughout their careers. She is accomplishing this while carrying the weight of becoming the undisputed face of women's basketball. But what Larry Bird said about Brittney Griner's prospects in the league, which is presently popular on social media, needs to be heard in order to be taken seriously. According to Larry Bird, the WNBA conveys the idea that inferior players can use dishonest tactics to remain relevant rather than developing their true basketball abilities if it enables athletes like Brittney Griner to celebrities without suffering repercussions. He claims that this creates a dangerous precedent that might deter players who are raising the bar for the league. Larry Bird even stated that young players who watch at home are tricked by the league's incapacity to adequately punish these actions. He believes that watching the WNBA, instead of teaching kids how to pick weaker opponents, educators should teach them about skill, dedication, and sportsmanship. Despite these challenges, Larry Bird's prediction on Caitlin Clark's future was perhaps the most crucial component of his entire argument. He asserted that Caitlin Clark was molded by adversity, and that every cheap shot, dirty trick, and attempt to scare her only made her more determined to prove her superiority, using just her basketball skills. Larry Bird compared Caitlin Clark's situation to that of his own rookie season when opponents tested his endurance by physically challenging him. He said that Caitlin Clark is coping with this conduct in addition to the unprecedented media attention and demands that come with being the most. Larry Bird's support for Caitlin Clark is crucial since she is the most marketable player in WNBA history. He is defending the intrinsic purity of basketball, not merely a talented athlete. According to him, Caitlin Elizabeth Clark exemplifies every characteristic that makes basketball unique. He sees everything that could be detrimental to the sport and competitors, including talent, vision, class, and competitiveness. Like Brittney Griner, the seasoned basketball player made it clear that the WNBA is at a critical juncture. They have two choices. Either they keep allowing subpar players to use dishonest tactics to remain relevant, or they showcase and safeguard their top players, allowing celebrities like Caitlin Clark to reach their maximum potential and enhance the league overall. Larry Bird's message was unambiguous. The league's future will depend on the choice chosen, yet everyone is debating this issue. Will the WNBA follow Larry Bird's advice to keep Caitlin Clark safe, or will they continue to allow players to, like Brittney Griner, employ questionable methods to harm the league's standing? Let's continue the conversation in the space provided for comments below. What are your thoughts on Larry Bird actually moved to protect its biggest star? I read every single one of your comments. So, happening in basketball. Caitlin Clark's treatment in the Larry Bird's controversial comments may eventually cause the WNBA to change. The basketball community is keeping a watch on this issue. As the narrative progresses, one aspect becomes harder to overlook. Conversations are no longer restricted to one game, one hard foul, or one contentious incident. It concerns women's basketball's future, the standards the league seeks to maintain, as well as how its top players are handled when the spotlight is gleaming. Few athletes have ever had to deal with the level of expectations that Caitlin Clark did. Entering the WNBA, millions of people watch every game she plays, and every move she makes is closely examined. From every perspective, every accomplishment is honored, and every failure day. In the meantime, veterans from all throughout the league are still competing at the greatest level, bringing years of expertise, perseverance, and pride, and intense competition never turns into pointless or risky play. They want rivalries because they want real basketball, but they also want respect, justice, and stability. Larry Bird's remarks have generated intense discussion since he is someone who knows exactly what it implies to perform well under duress. Larry Bird had to contend with some of the most formidable opponents and defenders basketball has ever witnessed during his incredible career. However, his message went beyond toughness. It was about upholding the game's integrity and ensuring that basketball skill, not controversy, continues to be the main focus. Whether you fully concur with Larry Bird's viewpoint or think, there is no doubting that his remarks have sparked debate, even though the issue has been overstated. What should happen is still up for debate among fans, pundits, former players, and media figures learning about women's basketball for the first time. These kinds of circumstances impact not only one player or team, but also how the league is viewed globally. As the season progresses, every game will become increasingly important. Every game in which Caitlin Clark plays will be attentively monitored. Every contentious play will be examined. Every official decision will be challenged. And every match will contribute to the story of one of the WNBA's most talked about seasons. The most important question is currently yours. Do you think Larry Bird's remarks accurately reflect the league's current situation? Do you believe that the WNBA is permitting competitive physical basketball while taking adequate precautions to keep its stars safe? What effect do you believe this has? What effect will the entire affair have on Brittney Griner, Caitlin Clark, and the league going forward? I'm truly interested in the views of basketball fans throughout the world. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the space provided. For comments below, this group's polite discourse is great, and your viewpoint might be included in a future movie. If you like this breakdown and would like more in-depth basketball analysis, make sure to hit the subscribe button for exclusive updates and the most recent news about Caitlin Clark, NBA legends, and the WNBA. Turn on alerts and never miss another upload. The history of basketball is being written. This is where you will learn about the upcoming chapter. Thank you for watching and for your amazing support every night. This may be even more significant than this song. Please turn on all notifications, subscribe. Please let us know what you think in the comments section so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the coming video once you click the one on the screen. Fans of basketball are still interested worldwide in the discourse regarding Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. Every game she participates in usually sparks new discussions about both her incredible talent and the tough defense she regularly faces. This has led to a discussion about a major concern for many observers and fans. Where does challenging, competitive basketball end, and when does needless physical play start? These conversations have recently gotten more heated as Brittney's videos on social media, Griner and Caitlin Clark have gained a lot of attention, with hundreds of followers expressing differing opinions on what happened. But many basketball fans have compared Clark's early career to that of renowned athletes who faced intense defensive pressure as well. Larry Bird, whose career is known for. One name that frequently comes up in those discussions is his toughness, leadership, and extraordinary basketball IQ. Although fans are still debating these similarities, one thing is certain: Caitlin Clark has demonstrated amazing poised in the spotlight. She is currently one of the most talked about professional basketball players since millions of. Many people observe each possession, shot, and decision she makes. These kinds of moments inevitably draw even more attention as the WNBA's popularity keeps growing since the league is attracting more spectators than ever before. Packed venues have ushered in an exciting new era for women's basketball, a rise in basketball fans' passion and television watching. Consequently, more attention is being paid to officiating, player safety, and finding a balance between fair play and fierce competition. Fans want to witness tough games and fierce rivalries, but they also desire skill, cooperation, and basketball skill to determine games. As a result, arguments over controversial plays continue long after the final buzzer rings. Most fans concur that the best players in the league ought to have every opportunity to showcase their abilities without unneeded interruptions, regardless of their views on specific circumstances. Caitlin Clark continues to earn respect for her on-court play by responding in the same approach. She continues to compete, improves, and focuses on helping her team win games rather than accepting criticism from others or controversy define her